then it was already passed. The deadline had passed on the weekend, and I do know that she tricks me, and so that she does things like that. And she tried to get me to sign a formal leave of absence. As it was, I was just a member not in good standing, and really all that means is I'm just a member not in good standing. There's really nothing about that. It's just if I wanted to perform, I would have to become back in good standing, meaning attending 2 or 3, they just recently changed this, 2 or 3 rehearsals in a row. And then I could be back in good standing. But I knew I wasn't going to go because, I had missed contest. I'd missed signing up for contest. She wanted to get me to sign. She was desperately, as she was going out of office, trying to get me to officially declare that I was taking a leave of absence. And I was suspicious because anything that woman does in regards to me is a trick. I know that from past experience. I almost didn't get back in because they refused to accept my payment one time. Or I shouldn't say they refused to, but they tried to. They tried to refuse to accept my payments so that I couldn't be a member anymore, but they couldn't do that. They couldn't do that by law, by the laws of the chorus, of the greater chorus. So when she wanted me to become not a member in good standing, meaning she wanted me to just apply and say, request a formal leave, I knew she was up to something, and so I went over the very newly, they had just revamped the rules again, so I looked at those very carefully and realized that as soon as I declared a leave of absence, they could request my costumes back. And I should also say that as she was leaving office because she had served a 2-year term, she now has to step off of the board for at least a year. And then she can go back on it again. And she will. She's power hungry. She manipulates people, and they're not even smart enough to realize it. They don't realize how much she has manipulated them into thinking things, at least about me. Those are the ones I see that aren't true at all. Of course, she doesn't try to hide it from me, but that just gives me another look at what she's thinking. But for one thing, I don't want to quit this chorus because I love the barbershop music so much. It's amazing. And the other thing is, I don't want this woman to win. That's the part I didn't tell you. I didn't finish. She has bullied people out before. And that's what this is all about now. She can't get me out. When we had our last director, and there was a lot of guff, she took a lot of guff, our last director. And our president, who was the president at that time, told the board, and I know that because I was on the board at the time, she told us her parting gift from the board was that she was going to get rid of Diane, who was our director. And she did. She did. Through trickery, she got rid of Diane. And so when she started that again, she hadn't communicated with me in forever, and suddenly then, about a month and a half to 2 months ago, maybe a little longer, she started very desperately emailing me, telling me I needed to submit a formal leave of absence, or I would, I would remain a member not in good standing. I knew she was up to something, and so I just didn't answer. That's the only thing I knew to do, was just to ignore it, which she uses as ammunition. But, and in fact, then we had a follow-up with the auto payments for my dues, and they've been paying fine all along, and then there was a hiccup when we went from one treasurer to another because their address changed. So the treasurer, at the behest of our president, and like I said, I'm not talking about our current president who was just elected. I'm talking about the previous president who served for 2 years, was off a year, and served 2 years prior to that. That president had gone to her and told her to contact me and ask me, and this is exactly how she asked me. I received an email that said, "So are you going to take a leave of absence or are you going to quit?" And one time our president even tried to entice me to quit by promising me that she wouldn't seek any back dues. This was after I took I don't know if I declared the leave then or not, but I was sick for a few months, and that's when she tried not to accept the payment, but by Sweet Adeline rules, they have to. Anyway, it's really hard to go to chorus and show up and be hated and not wanted there by everybody and not spoken to, and to just be in this chilling environment and to know that you have no friends there. That the friends I thought were my friends when I was there for a year, they accepted me and we got along great, and they seemed to love me for that first year, until that whole thing started with me being a listener, and then all the backstabbing and everything started, and I responded poorly to it. I showed my weakness, and they pounced on it, and they have been pouncing on me ever since. But the other thing I was going to say about not wanting to leave there is I'm not willing to let the bullies win. She's always been successful at bullying people out. Numerous people. Many times. I heard all this stuff as I came into the chorus about people that were forced out, Well, this president hasn't been able to force me out. She has been able to make me feel uncomfortable enough to not go. And I need to find the strength. I don't want to show my weakness because she exploits it. It's just, we're like animals. It's just like animals. I am the weak one, and I'm the prey, and she's the predator. And oddly, I'm the good guy, and yet everybody is... Most of the people probably don't know, really, everything that's going on. She doesn't tell them what she does to me. She doesn't tell me the horrible things she says to me. Most of them. But I've got to figure out a way to make this work out. And that doesn't mean that I have to find a way to be buddy-buddy with her, because personally, I have no respect for her. She has shown me nothing that I should find respectable about her. And I don't want to cheapen myself by resorting to stooping to her level. I want to continue to take the high road and just be kind and not be vengeful, and not let my anger show, and not let my weakness show. But I really need some help, because I don't know I need ideas. I need ideas and encouragement. I'm a 46-year-old bully. I'm a 46-year-old bullied person. Yeah, I guess I don't know what the word is. The target of the bully. But I could use some encouragement. I could be a lot stronger than I am. I don't feel strong. I don't feel strong at all in that regard. And she's just hammering at me. She did go off the board, and we do have a different president now, like I said. But the previous president is still a member, is still the leader of the costume committee, and she's already asked me to return my costumes. That was the last thing she did. That was 2 weeks ago. I got an email asking them for me to give my costumes back so that they could give them to 2 new people who came in. I'm like, I haven't quit. I'm not gonna give my costumes away. Then I won't have anything to wear. But that's the only power position she has now, is the costume committee, because she's the chair of it. And so that's how she's choosing to attack me now. I need some way to fight back, or to resolve this. And I need people's ideas, people's suggestions, maybe something clever, maybe, I don't know. I feel like I can't do it alone. I've tried so many times. It's just so miserable going back. So miserable going back and standing there. And I don't know what people think about me, but they sure aren't very kind. Like I said, I don't think most of them really know what's going on. They know what they've been told. Anyway, if you have any suggestions, I could sure use them. I'd appreciate it. Thanks.